Welcome to day 22 of the 30 Days to Ascension challenge. If you haven't already watched the videos from days 1 through 21, then make sure you go back and watch those first because you will want to watch these videos in order to really get the most out of the experience because the lessons from each day start to build off of each other. So make sure you watch those first and then come back to this video. I can't believe it's already day 22. Wow. What a cool experience. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. And if you are, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a video. And it just helps other people find this content as well. And of course, I always appreciate when you share these videos on social media to help other people find them too. So keep that in mind if you want to support. That would always be appreciated. And I just want to remind you that there are 3 pieces to every day's lesson. The first is the channeled message here on YouTube. The second is the lesson in the membership, the Channel Collective. If you aren't already a member, then just head to the link in the description below to learn all about the membership and everything included. There is so much in there. Like I said the other day, I like this. It's like Ascension Playground. I like that description. There's a lot in there. And at the very least, check out the free private community. It's not on any social media platform. So it's a great way to connect with other people who are going through this challenge and enjoy this type of content as well. And then the third piece would be the daily emails. So every single day I'm sending out an email with specific exercises that are associated with the daily lesson. That will really help you just anchor in the information. It will help you integrate because there's a lot that could be integrated, and it might not all be integrated the first time around. In fact, I would be surprised if it was because there is just a lot of information, and with channeled messages, so many codes and layers within them that you don't always pick up on until you hear it a different time, which is really cool. So make sure you do those exercises if that calls to you. It will really help you in this process. And if you haven't already signed up for those, then just head to the link in the description below for those as well. Okay, so today the Monarch Being is going to come through again. They're back. Love the Monarch Being. So they're going to come through, and as always with any channeled messages, take everything with a grain of salt. Practice discernment for yourself. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, no worries. Leave it. It's always up to you to decide, what resonates and what doesn't. So keep that in mind as always. And just give me a moment. I will tune in and we will see what they have to share with us today. As you move through this process, we ask you to be patient with yourselves and open to how the process unfolds for you. For your process, your journey will be different than any other individuals, and this is the beauty within it all. For you all are expressing different ways that the journey can express itself. Do you see all of the different parallels within the situations themselves? For it is quite important that you recognize that your journey is unique, is beautiful, is its own unique expression, and at the same time, also an extension of all, and it is part of your soul process, your journey, to be in that expression of the journey, uniquely, beautifully, wonderfully, yourself, and not require another to be in the same process as you are to shift, to grow, to change. For all are expressing different journeys of evolution, perhaps simultaneously, if you perceive it this way, simultaneously, perhaps different times, if you perceive it in that way, all in parallel, all in perfect timing. And we want you to have patience with yourself as you move through the process for many different layers of This information of what you will come to realize and understand and integrate will come up over time, and you might feel like you are going back to where you were before. You are not going back, but you are encountering new layers, new pieces that are still to be integrated, to be healed, to be looked into. You are being offered opportunities to move even deeper into the process. And so as you continue to be in the energy of growth and expansion and in alignment with your highest, trust that even if it feels like you are going back, you are also moving forward, so to speak. You are also growing and expanding, shifting in that process. For even if you return to something that feels familiar before, you are not returning in the same energy. You are being given an opportunity, perhaps, to do what feels familiar in a new energy, in a new light. You're being shown different aspects that perhaps you missed before. And so it is perhaps like repeating the same day in different ways. And what a beautiful gift this can be for you. You can try on different energies, and you can also heal more and more layers, see more and more perceptions of the same situation. And this is allowing you to widen your perspective, to be anchored in a wider perspective. And this is where you integrate more wisdom, more knowing, more understanding, more compassion, more love, expanding yourself as energy. And you will start to see the world around you more and more as energy in itself, and really start to integrate and understand what this means for it all to be energy. For at first that concept might feel abstract to some of you, and then you will start to notice how everything is frequency, all particle and a wave, all energy, all shifts. And when you see the world as all energy, how much more you can understand how it flows. And on the topic of energy, what we wish to bring up to today is the topic of resistance. And as we move through this process, we bring this back up. For many of you, perhaps have felt resistance even to get to this point. You might feel resistance during this process, and others are moving quite lovely, quite flowingly into this process, through this process. And it is to realize where resistance comes up in many ways. For many of you, only perceive resistance to be where you push against. Instead, we invite you to see resistance as bundles, clusters of energy, which can come in many different forms. For yes, it could be in an energy of trying to force, of trying to push forward, but also just in hanging on to an idea, onto a relationship. This is resistance as well. And so you will start to feel into frequencies and energies, and where is the resistance bottling up? Where is the energy clustering together? And this is what is blocking you from moving forward. And it is when you can break that energy cluster, as we will call it for you to see visually, that you will find yourself so much more in flow. And so as you move through your daily life, where are the places where you feel resistance, where you feel like you do not want to say the thing, write the thing, be with another, be in a situation, be in a place? This is all clustered energy that is blocking you from the flow. And what would it be like for you to feel like you were always in the flow? For you to feel like the energy just naturally always moved and there wasn't the resistance. This is not to say there's not value in the resistance, for this is where there are many points of growth. But for you to understand that resistance does not have to be your natural state of being. And many of you have been moving through life with these clusters of energy in the form of resistance and have been told, have believed that that is the natural state, that to move through life is always to be in an energy of resistance. And so there is a difference between holding the resistance with you as you flow through and flowing through and hitting the resistance, breaking up the energy cluster, and then moving forward, or perhaps breaking through so much energy, so many energy blockages, so to speak, that you are in flow the whole way through. Where are you in resistance? And within yourself, this is the key to all. Feeling into yourself, where are the pieces of yourself that you are in resistance to? The pieces of yourself that you are afraid to show, that perhaps you say you do not like about yourself, but where are these also your greatest strength? And what if it is your soul's journey to bring up these balls of resistance and notice, peel back, where did this come from? Where was I told that this was a weakness or something to be ashamed of? And in fact, this could be my greatest point of growth and my greatest gift of all. It is in what you call the triggers, the mirrors, the resistance that you unlock so much, that you catapult, that you quantum leap, that you realize that nothing is good or bad unless you perceive it to be so, but you assign certain labels. And it is in the resistance, the energy block, that you will realize where things are not flowing in your life. And so when you feel a resistance of love coming to you, money coming to you, friendship coming to you, what is not coming to you? Where is the energy block within yourself or in your path? If you imagine the energy core between you and the thing, that is blocking the smooth sailing. What is the peace within you? The resistance. Where do you feel the heaviness, the trudging forward, the dragging yourself? You speak so much to willpower. Your society loves to speak on willpower and determination. But what is interesting is, what if willpower didn't feel like resistance? What if it was your natural state? It is to realize where you assign resistance. It has to be hard. I do not like this part of myself. All of these stories, all of these things that pull down your frequency and stop you from launching forward. Or perhaps make it a difficult, heavy, long journey. You need not be in resistance. There are points where this is for your growth. But to move through your whole life, feeling the heaviness is not your natural state. When you understand that you are a high vibrational being, the purest, most loving energy, an extension of this, and so it is to come back to yourself and to start to realize, what is my relationship with my soul in itself? And as you start to relate to your soul, for many of you only view yourselves as the physical being and even the energetic being, but what about the soul in itself and the many aspects of its soul? Do not be afraid of your own soul, for it is you. You are an expression of your soul in this time-space dimension. And many of you are in resistance with your soul itself. The journey you are on, the lifetime, the lessons. But can you trust that this is for your greatest growth? This is in your highest alignment for your soul's evolution in one way or another. But it is to get stuck in the resistance when you always want to see the why as you're moving through. To not trust is also another form of resistance. Resentment, always wanting to understand why, when perhaps there is not a linear why, but a choice. The resistance of when people around you get upset when a new choice is made. This highlights the resistance to instantaneous shifts. Where do you resist instantaneous shifts? And when you think about the magic that you can pull into your reality in the now, that you already see every day, you realize that the only blocks are the resistance you put up in front of yourself, the fences, the walls, the fears, the doubts. This is all resistance. It is like dragging along a heavy weight when you are meant to flow. And so where are you in resistance with yourself and in resistance with your soul's highest alignment? Where is your ego resisting your soul? Where do you feel connected and where do you not? It is in the process of integration and not to see yourself as separate from your soul. For interestingly enough, many of you do. To not to see yourself as separate from your soul, to not see yourself as separate from source, to not see yourself as separate from another. What resistance is there in bringing it all together? What is it that would need to be let go of? And where do you ask to understand the why, but also resist to see the bigger picture? Resistance comes in many forms. It is not always a pushing away. There is resistance in only staying in one box. And we honor you for showing up to this work, to pushing forward. And as you continue to let yourself move forward and allow yourself, it is allowing yourself to move forward in this process, to move deeper into this process, you naturally break through the resistance and you start to become attuned to how it feels when you are in resistance, how it feels slow and thick and heavy, dense. And there is value in this, for the contrast allows you to see. And then it is to utilize your multidimensionality and operate from choice, freedom and choice, rather than what has been automatic, what has been laid out for you. You are starting to see this more and more. And how so much was told. And it is an unraveling. It is a process of realizing how much you assumed, how much you went along with it without realizing, and to take back your choice, even if it means choosing the same. But the resistance blocks so many from their own choice, from truly seeing the different levels, layers, aspects. The resistance clouds your vision, clouds your knowing. And what would it be to be in surrender? You have been taught to be so tense, tightened up, pushing forward. It must be hard. But how long has this kept you distracted? As you release the resistance, you allow yourself to flow, to clear your vision, to see all the options rise up, and then to have freedom in choice. And where you are in resistance is where you chain yourself, is where you feel stuck. And this is the process of starting to see how the power is within you. The power is within you and no other to unlock your inner freedom, to unlock your inner knowing. And it is not to pull in something from outside of yourself. It is not something another has that they will give to you. It is for you to release the resistance, the blocks, the layers, to see what is already within you. And that everything that has led you to this point has been the point of growth, has been part of the shift, has been part of the awakening, has been part of the ups and downs, the contrast, that has allowed you to see that there is another option, has allowed you to see that perhaps there is discomfort in certain things that you thought were musts, ways of being. The most profound shifts are energetic shifts simply within your way of being, in the now. It is not the doing. It is the doing that perhaps leads people to the feeling, but it is the feeling in itself. That is what so many of you yearn for. The feeling is within you. Set your intention to activate it. And, as you know, instead of doing to be to receive. The resistance blocks you from receiving. Be open to it. Your energy shift is available to you right now, in every moment. And when you realize this, you will unlock your greatest gift to yourself, your realignment with your soul. It is reconnecting with the truth of who you really are. Okay. Thank you, Monarch Being. Don't forget to head to the Channel Collective for the second part of this lesson and to your email inbox for the email with today's exercises. And I will see you tomorrow for day 23.